So a set piece for Avengers Doomsday has been leaked online and has a lot of people kind of questioning as to what the set could possibly be. So if you want to know my opinions on it, well, let's get right to it. Alright, so you've all probably heard this 1,000 times, but just let me make it clear. Avengers Doomsday, pretty big deal. It's the lead up to Secret Wars. The X-Men are going to play a very huge role in this film. And of course, you got RDJ returning, not as Iron Man, but as Doctor Doom. So there's a lot to unpack when it comes to this movie. And I mean, for sure, it's already being anticipated to be a huge blockbuster for the MCU, for sure. Maybe even bigger than Infinity War and Endgame. Who knows? But for months on end, there has been like leaks, like when it comes to like the plot, the possible like characters that might be in it. So of course, the most recent thing that just happened was that someone had apparently snuck onto set, and I mean snuck, meaning that they weren't supposed to be there. And of course, they took pictures of the set that the production was building. So a lot of people are, of course, analyzing, trying to guess what the set could be. So a lot of people are guessing it could be, the Xavier School for Get the Youngsters, or was it the Institute for Hire? But whatever, you get the idea. It's the expansion, all right? That's what people are presuming that it probably is. It's hard to really say for sure because obviously the set is not finished yet. But then there's also this weird kind of like bulky thing, which a lot of people are kind of presuming that it might be a Sentinel. So okay, it kind of does. It kind of does support that idea a little bit. And of course, it's confirmed 100% the X-Men are going to be in it. And it's even going to be like the same actors and everything for like the old Fox X-Men movie. So, this is, now here's where, here's where the problems occur. Right now, look, set leaks, okay, fine. That happens to like every movie ever. I get it. Even Godzilla and Kong Supernova has had some set leaks, right? But the thing is, though, this movie non-stop has been having like these like semi-weird spoilers everywhere. I mean, I remember on Twitter, there was the situation where somebody had apparently like leaked out the plot of the film, which revolved around like an army of Hulks. There's going to be like a new Black Panther, but it's going to be like T'Challa from another universe. And of course, Kevin Feige was not very happy about it. And of course, they had to kind of track down everything and make sure that nothing else got released. Now, for the most part, that could have been like maybe like a prototype of the script or something. I don't know. For the most part, it's not confirmed that that's what it is. We don't know for sure like what's real and what isn't. We can only really go by like what Marvel has told us already. So I know we already got the casting, so that's pretty good. But there's well, at least I have a problem, with this whole set leak situation because it's starting to become kind of a running theme, especially with this film. I mean, don't even get me started with the whole Doctor Doom design debacle, because I know a lot of people are kind of going crazy saying that, oh, the official, like, costume got out or so, and it's like, there's a possibility that might have been generated by AI, so don't jump to conclusions too quick. Now, the point that I'm trying to make here is that I don't know if this helps the film or if it hurts it, but I'm just gonna say it. And look, this is something that somebody tweeted, and I'm just gonna, I agree with it. Stuff like this is why things get delayed, and it's true. Normally, I wouldn't really care when it comes to set leaks, but in this situation, I'm sorry, I gotta give my honest opinion. I don't agree with this at all. I hate that now. You're getting a lot of people trying to like spoil and show off, the movie, and it's like, I don't know if they're being malicious about it, because this could go one of two ways. This person is either a diehard MCU film guy, whatever, or this is just a guy that gets like a kick out of spoiling everything. I don't know. There's always going to be those kind of people online. I mean, come on, let's be honest here. You know, that's something that you could just never escape, and that's honestly just one of the reasons why people just don't like to go to the theaters. You know, I remember there was a point where I stopped going to the movies, not because I didn't like going to the theater. I enjoy going to the theater. Literally, you know, when I went to go see Deadpool and Wolverine in theaters, you know, I saw Captain America Brave New World in theaters, and then I saw Thunderbolt in theaters, and they were all really fun experiences. But obviously, when people start spoiling shit like this online, and then it gets everywhere, and if it turns out to be real, kind of hurts the experience a little bit. And like I said, I don't really know what the intent was trying to show these off, so that's why I'm not being too judgmental. I'm just stating my obvious opinion that I don't know, I think this is kind of going a little bit too far. The person originally, of course, posted this stuff on TikTok, but of course, got everything taken down. But the person did upload everything on their Instagram, and for the most part, yes, you can actually find the photos on the person's Instagram. No, I'm not showing you who the person is because, again, I'm not promoting this kind of behavior. I really don't. I don't really condone. You know, I honestly, I re-recorded like this video so many times, just trying to give out my opinion. I think you guys kind of get the message of what I'm trying to say here. I think this is just starting to become way too much, and it reminds me way too much of like the Voltron animated series situation. I don't know. Well, I don't know anything about Voltron per se, you know, and I don't really know too much about the situation, so take this with a grain of salt because some of the stuff I'm about to mention is true. Where when you know when they were making the show, you know, they invited some people to kind of like, I don't know if it was to like meet the cast or like meet the crew or whatever, but somebody actually did leak like concept art or like some official works for like, you know, the next season or so, and they posted it on Twitter. And then of course, you know, I think it was either DreamWorks or Netflix, I don't remember who it was, but someone was like, hey, that's very important stuff that you shouldn't be leaking out. And apparently the person threatened to leak even more stuff if they didn't make two of the characters gay or something like that. I don't know. That's where it kind of stopped for me, where I'm like, okay, this is obviously like a diehard fan, I guess. I don't know, or maybe they just want to like their favorite characters to be shipped or something. I don't know. Stuff like that is why, you know, these companies get afraid to do like this promotional stuff, you know, inviting people to the sets and stuff like that. It's because of stuff like this. Now I get that when it comes to Doomsday, it's very like what's the right word for it. It's very obvious that they don't want people to know what's gonna happen in the movie, so it's probably better that we don't know like where it takes place and all that, because admittedly to a certain extent it is a little bit of a confusing movie, because it's like the X-Men, yes, we've been teased that the X-Men were coming to the MCU for a long time, but like what exactly, like what role are they gonna play? Because apparently from what a lot of people heard, after Doomsday, somebody else is going to be playing as Doctor Doom. It's not going to be RDJ. So obviously a lot of people are guessing that there's going to be like some kind of world-ending event where everything kind of starts all over and stuff like that. And obviously even the Fantastic Four are going to play a huge role in it. I don't think I forgot about them, you know. So again, I don't like to use current words, current slang, but I guess let it cook, right? You know, just wait and see. Let's see what Marvel Studios got for us, because I get it, all right? You know, MCU is an on and off franchise. You know, I understand that around Phase 4 they were kind of falling a little bit. I'm not one of those people that are like, oh, the MCU fell off or something. No, of course I tuned into every film. I tried to watch every show, you know. Try to give it, you know, my attention, try to understand the story a bit more, you know. I don't like to see a franchise that has been built up for so long and then people don't want to watch it no more because they feel like that it ended fine. Because as someone who reads the comics, I get it. You know, it's like there's so many more stories to tell. This, like, the MCU can literally go on for 70 plus years if it wanted to. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but mind you, they're still making Godzilla movies. You know, started in 1954, and now we're getting another one in 2027. Like, come on, you gotta think about that, you know. So all these people that are like, "Oh, the MCU sucks," "Oh, they went woke," whatever. No, that's not even remotely true. Like, come on now, you people gotta really stop with that. Well, I'm sure like that's gonna happen, you know. Now I get it. We had a rough start. Captain America: Brave New World, eh. Thunderbolts was great. It showed us that, in the MCU still got it. And of course, everyone's excited for Fantastic Four. I'm excited for it. And Superman too, but that's DC. We're not talking about that yet. But yeah, I guess that's about it, really. I mean, I really want to enjoy this film, but obviously, for me in this particular situation, I can't tell if like this helps the film or if it kind of hurts it a bit. I don't know. I rather I don't know what's gonna happen. I'll wait for the trailers and stuff like that. Maybe then I'll give my honest opinion. I don't know. But until then, that's about it. Thank you guys for watching. Leave a like, subscribe. A lot of things to talk about. Like I got some stuff for you guys. So until then, thank you guys for watching. See you next time.